I've decided this time to add a frill to my cushion. A frill which will appear just behind the binding when I turn it, or the piping rather, when I turn it inside out. So for this purpose I've cut 2 strips totaling about 150 inches because I want it to be double the width, so when it's pulled up and gathered I've got a nice frill all the way around. So I've cut 2 pieces which I'm now going to join into a circle and form into a frill. Okay, so it's off to the sewing machine. We're going to join the pieces of the frill together with a medium straight stitch, about 2.5mm. So just line up the edge of your foot again, or if like me you moved your needle to attach the piping, make sure you put it back in the middle again. Line up the edge of the foot with the fabric and stitch. And then if you've got more than 2 pieces, join them all together first and then join them into a circle. And now we need to iron the seams open and fold the frill in half. Now I'm going to press my seams open on the frill. However many seams you've got, press them all open. Fold a frill in half lengthwise all the way round. Wrong sides together so the raw edges are meeting. And just iron. So now we're going to gather your frill. So for this you need to increase your stitch length to the widest possible. Some are 4mm, some are 5, this one is 5. Okay, so put it on the maximum. Line up the foot with the edge of the raw edges and stitch all the way round. That's it. No reverse stitches because you want to be able to pull it up together. Now we've made our frill, we're going to pleat it onto the cushion cover. So in order to do this, you might think if you just start at one end, how am I going to know I've got enough fabric left? Well, the best way to do this is to take your frill, which is in a loop, and fold it so you've got the 2 halfway points, and to mark those with a pin. So put a pin in the first one. If you had 2 pieces the same length, obviously you can tell by where the seams are, but if not, or you've joined several pieces together, this is what you need to do. Okay, so I'll put a pin in this one. And now I've done that, I want to find the quarter way points. So I fold it together. And as long as you don't come apart, mark the 2 quarter way points. Now to attach it to my cushion, I take 2 of these points and put one at the bottom of where the ties join together and pin it. It'd be a good idea at this point to put the pins in at 90 degrees because as you're going to be pleating you don't want the pins to be getting in the way. So I'm going to put one of the halfway points there. I'm going to find the other halfway point. Make sure at this stage that your frill isn't twisted because you don't want to get halfway around the pleating and need to find out it's all the wrong way around. we put this one here, and the pin, turn it round, and you can either guess or measure halfway down the side pieces, like this. I'm going to guess, and I'm going to pin that here. And the same with the other side. Right, in order to gauge where the corners are, I'm just going to pull one side out. That's about the middle. I'm going to pin that to my corner. And the same with all the other corners. Now I've only got a short area, lots of short sections which to pleat over, so I can manipulate the pleats so they will fit within that area. When I'm attaching my corner points to my corners, what I'm going to do so the frill won't be too tight around the corners is form a double pleat. So if I just mark the centre at the point there where I'm going to put onto the corner with a pin, I can put a pleat on one side and a pleat on the other. And this will form a nice neat edge once it's turned inside out. So I'm going to just pin that onto my corner now, right into the corner. And then form your pleats, one either side. Make sure that they are coming round the corner and not sticking out at right angles. Okay, so once I've done that, I can carry on pleating. So just form the pleats first to make sure that you've got enough fabric to do what you want. Yep, and that's going to fit in just nicely. Also make sure they're lined up with your raw edge. Okay, and then you can pin them in place. Try and have your pin heads on the inside of the cushion rather than on the edge, as when you're sewing over the pins you don't want to be sewing into the pin heads, because with these flower head pins that's exactly what will happen. Now I've got my frill pleated all around my cushion, I'm going to sew it on. I've put on my zipper foot, and on this machine it's the needle that moves rather than the zipper foot, so I've moved my needle over to the left hand side. If you've got one of these machines where it's the foot that needs to be moved, you need to move it so the needle is on the left hand side. We're going to stay with a medium length straight stitch, about 2.5, and very carefully with the zipper foot butted right up against the piping, and you'll be able to feel it through the pleat. I'm going to sew all the way around. You'll need to take this slowly because you will be sewing over the pins, but as long as you approach the pins very slowly, just take your time, it should be fine. You may find that sometimes you'll be sewing against the pleats. If it happens that this corners start to come up, just press them down with a pin or with the edge of your finger without getting too close to the needle. Now the frills sewn on. I've taken all my pins out. It's lying nice and flat. And we're ready to prepare the back of the cushion.